The following is a live presentation of Retro Sports Network, home of the champions of the past, present, and/or future. No, wrong. You would think I would know which buttons to hit. Someone needs a haircut. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. My name is Ron Juckett. Welcome to the program for this 10th day of March 2025. And after a much needed few days off, we're back at it. 3 games this week, Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday, right up the noon Eastern time that we normally do. Hopefully you all remember to change your clocks and all that. One of the big surprises of this 1956 replay so far are the Boston Red Sox, and that's what we feature today. Red Sox, we've talked about this before. They really are a second-level team in the American League. They're not terrible by any stretch of the imagination, but they're not in that same category as the Yankees, Indians, and/or White Sox. They shouldn't be contending for a title. Their pitching isn't that great. Their hitting is good, but they aren't in the same league as those big three, along with them in Detroit, and probably the White Sox, I would say, at this stage, would be in that second layer, and then Washington and Baltimore, and on the bottom. However, we are coming vastly close to Memorial Day in this replay, and the Red Sox are just a half game out of first, behind the Cleveland Indians. And today, these two teams will go at it at the mistake by the lake. As Old Cam Boyd would say later on in the 80s, it was a mistake to put a ballpark by the ocean. Wondered if he ever went to Old Orchard Beach. Anyway, Herb Score on the hill for the Indians. Red Sox and Indians, first place on the line. Next, as Retro Sports Network presents Major League Replay 1956. Today, from Cleveland Stadium, it is the Cleveland Indians and the Boston Red Sox. And today's game is brought to you by DigitalDice.com, the best darn podcast on the web for your sports simulation and replay needs. Find us today on Spotify, Spreaker, iTunes, or wherever else fine podcasts are listed. And it will indeed be Herb Score on the mound for Cleveland, who was 19-11, game 31 for them, game 30 for Boston, a half game out at 18-11, Herb being a lefty. So again, no Ted Williams. One of the reasons why I took 56 was to do some Ted Williams games. You know what? Ted has not cooperated so far. Herb is 2-5 to start the year. This is his 8th of 34 starts, or 33 starts. He's 23, is a hard thrower, throws the fastball at 94, and is a fly ball pitcher. He was Rookie of the Year last year in 1955. His last start came on this channel 4 days ago against the Washington Nationals. In a 6-4 win, he struck out 10 over 7 innings. How you doing, Tribe fan? 148 pitches for Score, 7 hits, 4 runs, all earned. A home run, he walked 5. And for the 4th time this year, he struck out double digits. He struck out 10. You must remember when Herb did baseball games, or would that have been before your time, Tim? 51 innings for Score, 43 hits, 26 runs, 22 earned, 6 home runs. He has walked 27, and the unthinkable in 1956 is striking out more than your innings pitch. He's thrown 51 innings and struck out 61. However, wins have been few. He's won his last 2 starts, but it was Kansas City and Washington in the process. So he has improved to 2-5. Yeah, we'll get to that in a second. Let's do the Red Sox lineup. Billy Goodman at second will lead off for Boston. Frank Malzone at third will bat second. Dick Gernert in left, because Ted Williams doesn't respond to my phone calls. It will bat third and play left field. Norm Zauchin cleans up at first. Jackie Jensen in right, batting fifth. Jimmy Pearsall in center will go sixth. Don Budden at short, batting seventh. Sammy White behind the plate goes eighth. And Frank Sullivan on the mound for Boston goes ninth. Score can go 150 pitches. Preston Ward is a 4 and a 4 and left as we set Cleveland's defense for you. Jim Busby a 9 and a 7 in center. Al Smith a 6 and a 6 in right. No Rocky Colavito today. Wow. Rudy Regalado is at third. He's a 5. Chico Carrasquel is a 6 and a 7 at short. Bobby Avila is a 6 and a 6 at second. Vic Wertz a 5 at first. Jim Hegan behind the plate a 9 and an 8. And Herb Score a 2 on the mound with a .909 fielding percentage. Some sad news, according from players that played in this replay. Jose Valdivieso passed away on the 4th of March at the age of 90, and I didn't realize that Jose was a long-time broadcaster. Didn't play much after this. He was a role player. He would stay with the Nationals or Senators till they moved to Minnesota, and I believe he did games in Spanish for the Twins. And Art Shallock, Major League Baseball's oldest living player and World Series winner, passed away on the 5th at 100 years old. Okay, scored the games up until 97. Okay. Yep, tough task for Boston to face Score. Goodman at 270. I mean, look at those numbers. 094. Herb Score, huge advantage here. Goodman 274, no homers, 4 triples, and 13 RBI. Score starts this one, struck him out. So Score did strike out more than in real life in innings pitched, 263 to 249 and a third. Weather today, it's a day game this Wednesday, May 23rd, 1956, 69 degrees, wind blowing off the lake at 11. It'll favor the kickers. However, we're playing baseball. Frank Malzone at 242, 2 homers and 10 RBI. With those numbers, if you're looking at the outcome box there, those are no-hitter numbers that Score is putting up. That's into right center. Busby makes the catch. How about that? 2 out. For Dick Gernert, who kind of splitting with Ted Williams, not Fred Williams. Dick at 220, 4 home runs and 18 RBI. Score deals, and Gernert draws the walk. The one thing you got to watch out for with Score is his control. He has walked 28 and 51 and 2/3 this replay, and walked 129 overall. Norm Zouchin at 238 with an RBI. Gernert can steal. Can't hit and run, but we can steal. Let's see what Score does. He goes to the plate, struck him out. So Zouchin chased a 93-mile-an-hour fastball, and that'll do it. No runs, no hits, and the Red Sox leave on a runner. Half an inning in the books. Boston, nothing. Here comes Cleveland. So Frank Sullivan, who might have a tire or two with him on the mound for Boston. He's 26, throws a fastball at 85 and a ground ball pitcher. He has yet to lose this season, making his 8th start. 5-0 with a 3.95 ERA. And the ERA is about a half run higher than it was in real life. Sullivan hasn't lost a decision this year. He went 5 days ago against the Athletics and beat them 9-6. 6 innings, 111 pitches, 8 hits, 3 runs, all earned. He walked 2 and struck out 5. So Sullivan 54 and 2/3, 59 hits, 28 runs, 24 earned. He's allowed 7 homers. He's walked 16 and struck out 27, which is good enough for 14th in the American League. The lineup he will face: Jim Busby leads off in center for Cleveland. Chico Carrasquel at short will bat second. Al Smith in right goes third. Vic Wertz cleans up at first. Preston Ward in left field will bat fifth. Rudy Regalado, that sounds like something, a character on I Love Lucy, doesn't it? He's at third. He'll bat sixth. Bobby Avila at second, batting seventh. Jim Hegan behind the plate goes eighth. And Herb Score on the mound batting ninth. Sullivan can go 135 pitches. Gernert is a 5 and a 5 in left. Jimmy Pearsall is a 9 and an 8 in center. And Jackie Jensen a 7 and a 7 in right. The infield, Frank Malzone is a 5 at third. Don Budden, a 6 and a 7 at short. Billy Goodman, a 5 and a 7 at second. And Zauchin is a 2 at first. Sammy White is an 8 and a 7 behind the plate. Sullivan, an 8 on the mound with a .981 fielding percentage. Busby at 248, 4 homers and 18 RBI. Again, weather really not a factor here. It is a beautiful night in Cleveland. Busby, ground ball to Goodman, throws it to first, 1 out. So 69 degrees. Again, it is a breezy night here in Cleveland, but not terrible. Carrasquale at 200, 3 homers and 11 RBI. The Yankees, and we'll show you that in a few minutes, are still not over 500. There's a ground ball to Malzone at third, across the way to Zauchin, and there is 2 out. So Sullivan off to 2 outs on 2 pitches. That's pretty efficient. Al Smith at 223, 2 homers, 9 RBI. Sullivan deals, struck him out. A 1-2-3 first for Boston. Smith chased a 2-2 off-speed pitch, and that will retire the side. No runs, no hits, and no errors. After 1, no score. So Jensen, Pearsall, and Budden to face Herb Score. Jackie at 289, 3. In fact, trips are wild. He's got 3 doubles, 3 triples, and 3 home runs. He's driven in 20, and in the Red Sox first 29 games, he has scored 25, which is pretty good considering that Ted Williams is essentially playing part-time, and he's batting 5th in the lineup. Right to Carrasquale, throws it towards 1 out. So Jimmy Pearsall at 245, no home runs and 15 RBI. Score. Remember, this is a day game. He's pitching from the shirt sleeves on this 70-degree early summer afternoon. Pitch to Pearsall is into left center. Back goes Busby, and Jim tracked it all the way down to that chain-link fence. 2 out. Don Budden hitting 280. I'm telling you, I keep looking at that outcome box, and Score has no-hit stuff at least the first time through. 4 home runs for Budden and 21 RBI. Score deals, and Budden draws the walk. Second walk allowed by Score for Sammy White. Sammy at 293, a home run and 21 RBI. Score deals. White, ground ball to third. Regalado goes to second for the easy out there, and that will retire the side. Red Sox get another walk. They strand another runner. And after an inning and a half here, no score. So Wirtz, Ward, and Regalado here to face Sullivan in the second. Vic at 229, 8 home runs already, and 21 RBI. I have no idea if Frank Sullivan is related to Billy Sullivan, responsible for the New England Patriots or the Boston Patriots. Pitch to Wirtz. That is into center field. That will drop in front of Pearsall, and Wirtz has the first base hit of the ballgame. Preston Ward hitting 250, 3 for 12, but he's been productive. A double, a home run, and 4 RBI. Wirtz on first. Sullivan deals. Into right center, Jensen has it for the out. Wirtz goes back to first. I was perusing the replays over at StratFan Form, and I think it was 59 that somebody got the Red Sox to win the American League. You just never know. Rudy Regalado is 3 for 16 at 188. He looks like a happy guy, and an RBI. Preston Ward sounds like, Preston Ward sounds like a 1930s movies character name. Yeah, you see, Preston's there. Going to steal the girl from Fred McMurray. Regalado in the right. Jensen will make the grab, and Wirtz goes back to the bag. Just love it when I see some of these names, you know, like, yeah, you could be a 80s soap opera star. Hunk McCoy. Bobby Avila doesn't kind of fit that category at 205, 2 homers and 10 RBI. Sully, winds and deals. Popped up, left side. Gernert coming in, Booten on the grass, makes the catch, and that will do. No runs, the Indians get a hit, and they leave a runner on. We go to the third here in Cleveland, no score. Big Dave, how are you? So it will be Frank Sullivan, Billy Goodman, and Frank Malzone to face Herb Score here in the third. Sully 4 for 18 on the replay. He's hitting .222 with an RBI. High ground ball to Carrasqual over to Wirtz for the out. So opening 9 for Score. 39 pitches, 2 1/3. He has walked 2 and struck out 2. Billy Goodman struck out his first time up. Score from the line. That's into right. Al Smith. Is he going to have enough room? That's down the line. Oh my goodness, that was foul, but not by much. Somebody from Erie, Pennsylvania made that catch. They were there for waiting for the Steelers and the Browns to play in May, but they were there for the catch. A ball and 2 strikes to Goodman. Got him. That's 3 for Herb. A 1-2 fastball in there at the belt. 2 out for Malzone, who's 0 for 1. Score deals. Base hit left center field. Busby, that one rolled all the way to the wall. Malzone is into second with his 3rd double of the year. And that's the first base hit for Boston. Never going to get a no-hitter. You know that? Dick Gernert walked his first time up. So Malzone on second, 2 out here in the 3rd. Pitch from Score. In the left, Ward trucks over, makes the catch. A sliding catch on the grass, and that will take care of the Red Sox here in the 3rd. They get a hit. They've left on 3. And after 2.5, no score. So Hegan, Herb Score, and Jim Busby here in the 3rd. Hegan at 197. 2 home runs and 9 RBI. David, who grew up in the Rochester area and probably got some Blue Jay games over the water from Toronto. Did you grow up an Indians fan? I mean, how'd that work for you in Rochester? You had the Red Wings, of course, the AAA team. When I went out to Fredonia back in the mid-'80s, the local station carried the Yankees. You could get the Blue Jays on the radio because the Toronto AMs just boomed in over to Lake Erie. And you actually had Buffalo and Erie on the cable, and so you got some Indian games too. And there were some Pirates fans as well. Heegans will fly this one to right center. Back goes Pearsall, and that is off the wall. Hegan is going to have 2 of these. He might, nope, not going to go for 3. He'll take his 5th double of the year. Thank you very much. At 36. Second hit for Cleveland. Here's Score. Herb can hit. 267 with a double. Zauchin and Malzone will play for the bunt. Sullivan deals. Bunt is down. They throw to third, and Hegan's out. So Score got it down, and Malzone saw it was not well bunted, ran over to third, and took the throw from Sammy White. 1 out. Opening 9 for Frank Sullivan, just 28 pitches. 2 1/3, 2 hits and a K. Busby 0 for 1. Score on first. 1 out in a scoreless game in the 3rd inning. That is a ground ball to Zauchin. He'll go to Budden for 1, but Busby will reach on the fielder's choice. There is no throwback. It goes 3-6 on the fielder's choice, as I just said. And there's 2 out for Carrasqual, who's 0 for 1. Left field. Back goes Gernert. Wow, he got under that just a little bit, and Gernert timed it and made the catch. Cleveland threatens but does not score. No runs, a hit, and no errors. We go to the fourth. Boston nothing, Cleveland nothing. Big Dave says grew up in Buffalo, actually, and got both CBC and CFTO, so he got all the games. Grew up a Blue Jays fan. The Bisons had the Pirates, the White Sox, and Indians. Okay. Well, you're old enough that you remember when they played in the rock pile. That must have been a blast when you saw The Natural to know where that was filmed. Zouchin struck out his first time up. Got him. That's 4 for score. Herb got him on a fastball at the belt. 1 out. For Jackie Jensen, who's 0 for 1. Lived in Rochester close to 20. Wow, I've been in Burlington longer than you've been in Rochester. But same general area. Pitch to Jensen. Fly ball, left field. Ward traking back. But again, the wind kind of picked that up and dropped it down. It's now blowing in from left center at 11. 2 out for Pearsall, who's 0 for 1. So the wind knocked that one down. Score deals. Struck him out. That's 5 for score. Change up on a full count, and that will do. After 3.5 here in Cleveland, Red Sox nothing, Indians nothing. So here are the standings. The reason why we're doing this, Cleveland a half game up on Boston, 3.5 on Chicago. And again, where's forever remain 90 now that the White Sox are playing well? The Yankees on the right side of 500, 3.5 back. Tigers at 500. Washington doing what we expect them to do, along with Kansas City and Balmer. In the National League, Milwaukee a game up on Brooklyn. A game and a half on the surprising Cardinals. Then Cincinnati 4 back. And then the has-beens all between 7.5 and 9 back. The Red Sox hitting .268. Cleveland, that's second in the American League. Cleveland's ERA is almost 0.3 of a run better than anybody else. And they lead the American League in pitching. And have good defense at .977. But Mr. Mantle is starting to put up some Triple Crown numbers. David remembers when The Natural was filming, wasn't allowed to go and be an extra. Oh, that would have been so cool. Remember when that was on HBO. My dad was excited because, as we've said before, he grew up in Fredonia, so he'd been to the rock pile a couple times. It'll be Al Smith, Vic Wirtz, and Preston Ward here in the fourth. Al 0 for 1. He struck out his first time up. That is up the middle for a base hit. So somebody made the poor play. Who was it? I think it's Budden. Yep, Don made his 7th poor play. But he's made 7 great ones. All comes out in the wash. Here's Vic Wirtz. Wirtz singled his first time up. Smith on first. 3rd hit for Cleveland. In the left, Gernert makes the catch for the out. Of course, the manager in The Natural was Wilford Brimley, and he was about, 43, 44 years old when he did that? Looked about 50, 55. Realize that I'm now older. By that time, David says the rock pile was a dump. The Pilot Field or whatever, it's not Pilot Field anymore. The more modern, older stadium in Buffalo. Still looks pretty nice. The Blue Jays played there during COVID. Preston Ward, 0 for 1. Auditioned to be in a movie with James Cagney and Edward G. Robinson. And draws the walk. So first and second now for Cleveland. 1 out for Rudy Regalado, who is 0 for 1. Cleveland threatening here in the fourth. Into shallow left center. Pearsall rides a Schwinn, makes the catch. And everybody has to hold up as Pearsall threw a strike to Malzone at 3rd. 2 out for Avila. Bobby is 0 for 1. There's a chopper foul, third base or first base side, because I know my bases. And it's an 0-2 count. Somebody from Cleveland made that catch. 0-2 to Avila. Brimley was 50 when the natural came out. We've said this before. I know age is just a number, but as someone that's 53, they looked ancient. Absolutely ancient. Now, granted, when the natural came out, I was 12 or 13. But yeah, he looked a lot older than 50, right? Pitch to Avila. There's a fly ball right field. Jensen coming in. Jackie will make the catch, and that will do. No runs, a hit, no errors. We go to the fifth. Pitcher's duel here at Cleveland. No score. So Budden, White, and Sullivan to face score here in the fifth. Don walked his first time up. Got him. That's 6 for score. He chased an 0-2 fastball. And score has got it going on this afternoon. Sammy White, 0 for 1. Got away from Hegan on strike 3. He flings it down to Wirtz, and they got him. So if you're scoring this one, why? It goes on the card 2-3 on that K. Here's Frank Sullivan. Sullivan's 0 for 1, and score has a good morning and a good afternoon. Big Dave says, you're 50. I thought you were older. I'm older than you. Wow. Have you ever heard of that Brimley line? It's a site that compares famous people that turn 50 against Brimley. No, I haven't done that. That's hilarious. And you can't say that my diet was any better than Brimley's. That's funny. Pitch to Sullivan. Fly ball, left field. Ward down in the corner. That's going to hook. Foul. And the count is 3-2. Struck him out. Score is Fan 8. He gets the side here in the fifth. And halfway home on a Monday afternoon in Burlington. It's 40 degrees out. It's beautiful. No score. Please do. If you joined us late, there's not a heck of a lot to recap. No runs, 3 hits, no errors for Cleveland. They've left on 4. No runs, a hit, and no errors for Boston, and they've left on 3. Herb Score, a 1-hitter through 5. He has walked 2 and struck out 8. Frank Sullivan, a 3-hitter through 4. He has walked 1 and struck out 1. In one of the better pitch games we've had in this replay. Jim Hegan doubled his first time up. Pitch from Sullivan. That is into center field, and he's got a hit. That's a single. So Hegan, the catcher, has 2 of the 4 hits that Cleveland has in the ballgame. And that'll bring him Score, who's 0 for 1. So Zouchin and Malzone will play for the bunt. Drop down. Malzone goes to second, and they get Hegan. Second time today. That Score is trying to drop one, and the Red Sox have turned it into an out. It was right to Malzone, who threw a strike down to second. And they get the force there. So there's Jim Busby. Jim is 0 for 2. Sullivan, 18 batters, 59 pitches, 4 1/3, 4 hits, a walk, and a strikeout. That is into center field for a base hit. Score will hold at second. And Cleveland threatening here in the fifth. Here's Casquale, who's 0 for 2. 5 hits now for Cleveland, 1 for Boston. That is a looper back to Sullivan. Hello. A full count blooper. And Sullivan was able to grab it. So 2 out for Al Smith. Al 1 for 2. He has singled and struck out. So score on second, Busby on first, bottom of the fifth. And Smith draws the walk, and now Cleveland has 2 in scoring position. Full count pitch was inside. White kind of looked and didn't really argue it. And now, talking about going from the frying pan into the fire in a scoreless game, here's Vic Wertz, who was 1 for 2 with the single, and he's got a lot of power. So score on third. Busby with speed to burn on second, and anything really hit out in the outfield is going to score Al Smith. So this could be a 3-run swing right here. Although the chances of 3 runs says 0.0. Sullivan deals. There is a ground ball to short. Over to Goodman, and they get nothing and like it. A pump fist from Sullivan as he goes back to the dugout. The Indians, no runs. 2 hits. They leave them loaded. They pull a Foster Brooks. And after 5, it's Boston nothing, Cleveland nothing. So it'll be Goodman, Malzone, and Gernert to face score. Billy has struck out twice. Score, 82 pitches, 18 batters, 5 innings. A hit. That was Malzone. He has walked 2 and struck out 8. Lace to right in front of Smith, and that's a hit. So the Red Sox have their second base hit of the ball game. Malzone had a double his last time up. It's hard when your offense isn't giving you a heck of a lot of help. Score is pitched to Jim. Lowered his ERA right now to 3.54. Up the middle, should be 2. No, just the 1. Avila throws it to first. And Goodman goes to second. I thought that he was going to be able to get to the bag and make the throw, but he did not. So the Red Sox have a runner in scoring position, 1 out for Gernert. It was 0 for 1 with a walk. They're trying to find Ted Williams, who we are told is on a boat out in Lake Erie. What's the big fish out there, Tim? What would he be trying to catch? Pitch to Gernert. That is a fly ball left field. Back goes Ward. Goodbye. Long gone, and the Red Sox score first. It's 2-0 on the home run. Gernert hits his 5th of the year. He's now driven in 20. He hit that into the wind. It's now blowing into from center at 9, and there wasn't anything Ward could do but turn and watch it go. Yeah, Lake Erie. Not the cleanest lake in the world. They tell Ted to probably walleye or bass. Okay. And that would be what Teddy Ballgame would be after the catch. So the Red Sox go up 2-0 on the home run. That is the 7th allowed by score on the replay. Here's Zouchin. He's 0 for 2. He has struck out twice. Score deals into right center. Busby will make the catch, and there's 2 out. Jackie Jensen 0 for 2. Got him, 9 for score, but his offense has let him down. 2 runs on the 2-run homer by Dick Gernert on 2 hits, and we go to the bottom of the 6th. It's Boston 2, Cleveland nothing. So Preston Ward, Regalado, and Avila here in the 6th. Needless to say, none were visiting the Cuyahoga River in 1956. Yeah, no. Ted is checking out the USS Cod that's out there. Pitched to Ward. That is up the middle for a base hit. Sixth hit for Cleveland. Here's Regalado. Rudy is 0 for 2. That is up the middle. Budin has it. 1 to Goodman, 2 to Zauchin. And they turn a 6-4-3 double play. So Sully, looking for a 6th win, just got a good best friend. Here's Avila. Bobby's 0 for 2. Right center, Jensen in the alley, and we've played 6. No runs, a hit, the double play, stymied the rally, and after 6. Red Sox 2, Indians nothing. So Pearsall, Budin, and White to face Herb Score here in the 7th. Jimmy and Fear have struck out once, so he's 0 for 2. Score, looking for another 10K game, has 9. Left center, 1 out. Busby made the catch. Here's Budin. He has walked, one of Score's 2, and struck out. That's 10. That's 10. A hard fastball that was out of the zone. Almost a splitter. And there's 2 out for Sammy White. Sammy is 0 for 2 with a K. Again, Score his pitch to Jim. But they have given him no support at all. Pitch to White. There's a ground ball to first. Wurst over to Score. Stretch time, 2-0 Boston. I don't know if the Red Sox will be able to keep this up. How you doing, Andrew? But on the other hand, I mean, they're showing why they are 18-11. They have come in here and they have played them beyond tough. Hegan has 2 of Cleveland's 6 hits. He has a single and a double. Andrew is measuring himself up for a bathing suit with it supposed to be 57 in Vermont tomorrow. Pitch to Jim. That is up to Budin, who stabs it in front of the bag at second, throws to first for the out. 1 away. Don's just a baby at 22. So here's Herb Score. Remember, since the Red Sox are on, I'm managing the Red Sox, although Score would have no reason to be pinch hit for. He has pitched a good one. But Sullivan has been better. Struck him out. That's 2 for Sully. 1-2 fastball in on the corner, inside corner, 2 out. So for Sullivan, 27 batters, 6 2/3, 92 pitches, 6 hits, 2 walks, and 2 strikeouts. Busby 1 for 3, has 1 of the 6 hits for Cleveland. The Tribe have left on 7. The Red Sox have left on 3. That is into left center. Running back is Pearsall, long gone. So Busby homers in the left center into the teeth of that win, and it's a 1-run ball game. His 5th of the year, he brought it past the auxiliary scoreboard out there in the dog pound. And if you just listen momentarily, I'll be quiet. You hear it? Brian Sipe and Bernie Kosar, appreciate that. So 2 out for Carrasquel, who's 0 for 3. 7 hits for Cleveland, that's their first run. The Red Sox 2 runs on 3 hits. No errors for either side. Cleveland has stranded 7, the Red Sox 3. That is a ground ball to first. Zouch into the bag himself, and that will do. We have played 7 here in Cleveland. They finally get a run. The solo homer from Busby. The lone hit. We go to the 8th. 2-1 Boston. Is Ted fishing seals? Yes. It'll be Sullivan, Goodman, and Malzone to face score here in the 8th. Frank is 0 for 2 with a K. Yeah, he's fishing seals. And some walleye. Pitch to Frank. There's a fly ball to right. Smith doesn't have to move, 1 out. Billy Goodman 1 for 3. Billy has singled, scored, and struck out twice. He scored on the Gernert homer in the 6th. 27 batters for Herb Score. 115 pitches. 7 in the 3rd innings. Both the runs are earned. He's allowed 3 hits. The home run to Gernert. He's walked 2 and struck out 10 again. 49 degrees wherever Andrew is at the moment. But yeah, 57 in Burlington is the call for tomorrow. Pitch to Goodman. There is a ground ball to short. Carrasquilla can't make the play, and Goodman's going to reach on the air. So for Chico, that's his 6th error of the year. That was just a plain old boot. And since the Red Sox don't steal bases, we're not going to worry about it. Here's Malzone. Frank 1 for 3. He has a double. Jamie's dying to tell me it's 87 in St. Petersburg. I guarantee you, right? Speaking of St. Petersburg, what will be the future of the baseball franchise down there? I know there is now lots of pressure to sell it. Montreal is not an option. 69, I'm being told. But Nashville? Charlotte? There's no place to play in Orlando. I mean, what's the scuttlebutt down there, Jamie, with the Rays? Pitch to Malzone. That's into left. Ward coming in makes the catch, and Goodman retreats because I can talk. So 2 out for Gernert, who homered his last time up in the 6th. He now has 5 on the year and has driven in 20. Runner goes, that's in the right center. Busby will make the catch, and that will be the inning. No runs, no hits, and the error does not hurt. We go to the bottom of the 8th in a 1-run game. Boston 2, Cleveland 1. So, Jamie says there's talk of selling it to a Tampa group and building a stadium in Tampa. Now, my question to you, and maybe other people who live down there, because destroying the Orange Bowl and building the new stadium where the Orange Bowl was didn't seem to really help the Marlins at all. It'll be Smith, Wirtz, and Ward to face Sullivan here in the 8th. Al 1 for 2. He's singled, walked, and struck out. For years, you keep hearing the stadium's in a bad location, hard to get to, and legitimate things. Would that change if they actually built something in Tampa? Pitch to Smith, and Al draws the walk. He is the tying run. For Vic Wirtz, Sullivan is not due up in the 9th, so I could be my decision here when to pull him. Vic Wirtz 1 for 3 with a single. A Scutney. Andrew's in a Scutney. Andrew skiing. Be a great day to ski. 49 on Mount Snow. Pitch to Wirtz. Walked him. So first and second, nobody out for Preston Ward. It would be Dave Sizzler, if I needed to go to somebody. Sully says he's good. So there are better options, but they're all short. and they're all starting other games. So we'll keep an eye on it. It'll be Sisler when we need it. Jamie says, might help a little, but not dramatically in your opinion. Still better than St. Yeah, I mean, St. Petersburg was never great. How you doing, Paul? So Ward 1 for 2. He has singled and walked on this one. Smith the tying run on second. Wirtz the go-ahead run on first. Nobody out, bottom of the 8th. Red Sox 2, Cleveland 1. Pitch to Ward, drop down, White throws, and Ward does the sacrifice. How about that? So now the question goes, DJ John from the West Coast, how are you? Do I walk Rudy Regalado here, or do I play him in? Because the tying run is on third. Rudy not much of a hitter, and really not much of a bunter. We'll play him in. Outfield playing in. You don't want to walk him. Avila is a better hitter. One of these rare situations. Anyway, here's the pitch. There's a ground ball. That is in the left field for a base hit. Smith ties the ball game, and that bit of strategy did not work. He lined it. That would have been a hit regardless of where the infield was. And the Indians have tied this ball game at 2. Useless fact that Andrews just learned. Oh, I knew that one too. Only because you and I probably saw it together. Prince Fielder. If you can believe this, Prince, who was never a svelte guy in any way, shape, or form, has more career inside the park home runs than Ricky Henderson. Somehow, Ricky, in his long career, only hit 1, and Prince Fielder hit 2. So Avila, they'll play back. They want the double play now. Is 0 for 3. Sullivan sweating a bit, 76 degrees. That wind is still blowing in from center at 11. Popped up, left side. And no one's making a room for it, so that is a souvenir. And the count is a ball and 2 strikes. Struck him out. Sullivan got him on a 1-2 curveball. So 2 out for Hegan, who's had himself a day, a single and a double. He is 2 for 3. It'll be Zauchin, Jensen, and Pearsall for the Red Sox in the 9th. In a 2-2 tie. Got him! What a performance by Sullivan to get out of it. So he got a chase in 0-2, and that'll do. Indians tie the ball game. 1 run, 1 hit. They've left on 9. We go to the 9th. It is Boston 2, Cleveland 2. So, we're going to pinch hit for Zauchin here. Who can hit a lefty? Apparently nobody can. It'll be Ted Lepsio. Vernon and Williams can't really do it. In fact, Vernon had a batting average of .061. So here's Ted at 26. Has a pinch hit home run. 1 for 3 with a pinch hit home run and drove in 2. Vernon will come into play first. Score has thrown 126 pitches through 8. And that is the go-ahead run. That's a walk. Are we going to steal? No. Here's Jackie Jensen. Jackie is 0 for 3 with a K. You could have won a lot of bar bets, Andy, with how Prince Fielder having more inside the park home runs. Remember, Gardner talks a lot about the inside the park home run he had with Ron Say. To me, that really, especially in his younger years, that would not have been a surprise. I mean, no one was confusing Say with Maury Wills or Lou Brock or Ricky Henderson, but he wasn't me on the bases. Pitch to Jensen, and that got away from Hegan, and the go-ahead run is in scoring position. A wild pitch, and Lepsio moves up to second. Now, Jackie can't bunt. There's nobody out on a 2-0 count. Score threw that at 93, but he threw it to 93 in Boston. Pitch to Jensen. That is up the middle. That's a base hit. And the runner will hold at third. So runners on the corners, and the infield playing in for Jimmy Pearsall. Jimmy is 0 for 3. There is nobody out. Two runs, 4 hits, no errors for Boston. They've left on 4. Cleveland, 2 runs, 8 hits, an error, and they've left on 9. That's true, Jamie. Andrew says that Say just ran awkwardly, not terribly slow when he was younger. Just waddled. Some of the best of us waddle, Andrew. Jamie says sometimes triples and inside the park homers are more about circumstances than better speed. I remember later in Ortiz's career, and he'd leg out a triple. And he'd be standing there at third base, and the third baseman would be laughing, and he'd be laughing, and we'd all be laughing at the fact that David Ortiz, again, who does have my speed, would somehow get a triple. Let's see what they do with score here. Pearsall put one in the outfield. The Red Sox go up 3-2. Hegan reminds Score of the score. And he struck him out. What an effort by Score to get his 11th of the ball game. A full count off-speed pitch, and Pearsall wasn't looking for it. 1 out. For Budden. And Jensen's going to go. They're going to try and steal a throw down there. Jackie has a steal. He stole his third base. He had an 80% chance of doing it. The infield was drawn in, and so Jensen just took right off. Avila made it back to the bag and couldn't put down the tag. So now, Lepsio on third, Jensen on second, infield still in, 1 out and a 1-strike count. Tim says Benji Molina getting a triple in Boston to complete a cycle was the absolute best. Josh Lewin, broadcaster from the Rangers, said, and pigs have flown in Boston. Good. 1 out, no double play now. And a sac fly gives him the lead. That's the computer's decision, Michael. Pitch to Budden. There's a ground ball down the line. Bing! Maybe, yeah, base hit. Lepsio scores. Jensen will round third. It is 4-2. Trust me, I've seen the Red Sox bullpen from this year. It is definitely not done and dusted. I'm surprised that Score is still in there, though. So a 2-run double. 1 out for Sammy White, who is 0 for 3. And they're going to walk him. And now, I'm not going to bat Sullivan. So first and second, Score, up until the 9th, was pitching a Jim. And again, the Indians have left on 9. It's not like they haven't had their chances. All right, well, who do we go with here? All right, we'll bring in Williams. So Teddy Ballgame, as a pinch hitter, 375, a home run, and 3 RBI. Hitting 440 overall, but again, he's only played 25 at-bats. They got him off the boat. There's a bunch of walleye sitting in a cooler in the visiting clubhouse. It smells real good. 3 home runs and 9 RBI. Bob Stanley in the 9th. Yeah, that's my favorite part of the 56 replay, Andy, is there is no Bob Stanley. Score stays in. Struck him out. That's 12. He has fanned 73 now and 59 2/3. 2 out for Goodman. Billy 1 for 4. He has singled, scored, and struck out twice. I liked Lee Smith, though. I was so excited when he came in. And to have that... Yep. I didn't like it when they signed Reardon. So 2 out for Goodman. It'll be... Oh, I know why Cleveland hasn't pulled him. Because they got to burn a pinch hitter. So it'll be a pitcher spot, Busby and Carrasqual, against whatever the Red Sox throw at him. 2-run, not much. Pitch to Goodman. Struck him out. So score fans 13. 37 batters, 9 innings, 13 strikeouts. Bob Stanley's rookie year was 1957. Yeah, I dodged that one all right. We go to the bottom of the ninth. 2 runs, 2 hits, no errors. Red Sox 4. They've left on 6. Cleveland 2. All right, so Williams in left. Vernon at first. And Dave Sisler in his 4.62 ERA. I bet it's a getaway. It's a Wednesday. I bet this is a getaway day. Next Wednesday's games would be the Memorial Day doubleheader. Bob Stanley was a spry 2-year-old toddler in 1956. How you doing, Mike in the truck? Sisler is 25, throws a fastball at 89 and a fly ball pitcher. He is 0-1. He'll make 14 starts for Boston, 8 games, 2 saves. In fact, he picked up a 4-inning save against Kansas City 4 days ago. And a 10-4 good buddy win. 53 pitches, 3 walks, and a strikeout. Overall, Sisler, 16 innings, 16 hits, 6 runs, all earned, a homer, a couple steak restaurants, 9 walks, and 14 strikeouts. And let's see, they should pinch hit for score here. Go through 164 pitches. 0 for 3, a couple failed sacrifice bunts. This one is not done by any stretch. Rocky Colavito will pinch hit. Colavito as a pinch hitter at 400 with an RBI. Overall, 368. 6 homers and 12 RBI. Cleveland 2 to tie, 3 to win. Struck him out. Got him on a curve. 1 out for Busby, who homered in the 7th to make it a 2-1 ball game. Busby 2 for 4. He now has 5 home runs and driven in 19. There's a base hit in the left field. Williams, who's a 4-4 out there, picks it up on a hop. Vernon is a 7 at first. Carrasqual 0 for 4. He is the tying run. Up the middle for a base hit. Busby moves on to third without any hesitation at all. And the Red Sox do what the Red Sox do. So runners on the corners, 1 out for Al Smith. Al 1 for 2. He's walked twice and scored once with a single. So Busby on third. Carrasqual the tying run at first. And Smith with power, the winning run at the plate. See, if I say the name Strat Fan, does that mean anything to some of you? Pitch to Smith. There is a ground ball to short. Budin makes a great play. Can try for 2 here. Goodman for 1. No, sir. There is no throw to first. Smith will reach. Busby scores. It's 4-3. for Wirtz. Wirtz is 1 for 3 with a walk, and he is the winning run. Throw to first. Smith is back. Not seeing a lot of jumping on that one. So he's the Strat, huge Cardinal fan and a Strat player, and he loads the deck to make sure that the most favorable players in Cardinals history are on whatever Cardinal team is playing. So you need a pitcher, it's Andahar and Tudor, no matter what. Yeah, we're not stacking the deck here. I mean, the Red Sox are a 500 team and 56 for a reason. Feels like Stanley pitching. At some point, we'll get Bob Stanley on. Wirtz is 1 for 3. Again, he can win this right now. In fact, he's got a 7.5% chance to win this right now. Sisler, sweating bullets, 77-degree day. That wind is now shifted to right center at 17. Wirtz waving the bat back and forth. Fly ball, right center. Red Sox win. How about that? Jackie Jensen corrals it. 1 run, 2 hits. Cleveland left on 10, and the Red Sox go into first place on the 23rd of May. It won't last. 4-3. 2 hours and 37 fake minutes. 4 runs, 5 hits, no errors for Boston. They left on 6. Cleveland, who for the moment falls to 19 and 12.5 game out, 3 runs, 10 hits, and an error, and they left on 10. Can't leave on that many runners. Herb Score goes the distance. He was tired. 9 innings. He falls to 2 and 6. 5 hits, 4 runs, all earned. The home run, he walked 4 and struck out 13. Frank Sullivan is 6-0. Yep, you wouldn't get me to say that at the beginning of the year. 8 innings, 8 hits, 2 runs, both earned. A home run, he walked 4 and struck out 4. I'm glad you enjoyed the inning and a half. Through 119 pitches, he could have gone 129. Sisler, 1 inning, 2 hits, an earned run, and a strikeout. And so, Score, yeah, that's, wow. Score, Jamie brings up the good point. Score has lost half of Cleveland's games. They are 17 and 6 when he's not pitching, and 2 and 6 when he is. Because I believe he said a decision. That's remarkable. MVP is going to be Dick Gernert. His 2-run homer in the 6th put him up 2-0. Budin had a pretty good game too. So flop them at least for today. The Red Sox are in first. The rest of this Wednesday in baseball, 5 other games on the card. Tigers beat the Yankees 11-9. Billy Heff 4-0. Borgen 1-1. Mickey Mantle hits his 14th, 3 for 5 with a double. The Yankees are 4 out. Cubs beat the Phillies. They pound out 16 hits, by the way. Cubs beat the Phillies 4-0. Hacker 2-2. Haddix 1-2. Ernie Banks hits his 5th. Drives in 2, goes 2 for 4. Score strikes out 13 in the loss. Again, I'm stunned by that. You're absolutely right, though. Jack Harshman strikes out 10 in a loss. No, doesn't even get the decision, poor guy. Over 7. Orioles beat the White Sox 4-3. Fornialis gets his first win. Martin falls to 0-2. And George Kell, 4 for 5 and 2 RBI. St. Louis pounds out 17 hits. This is a pitcher's duel. Pittsburgh, 21 hits. Dale Long, 3 hits, a homer, and drives in 5. Pirates beat the Cardinals 12-8. Friend is his own best friend. He hits a home run, drives in 2, goes 3 for 5, goes to 4 and 3. Schmidt falls to 1 and 2 as the Pirates go to 12-8. And last but not least, the Nats beat the A's 9-1. Stone 2-2, Detmar 4 and 4, Roy Sievers hits his 13th. He's 4 for 5 and drives in 3. We're with you Wednesday and Thursday at noon Eastern. When we're with you on Wednesday, it's the Dodgers and the Giants. I think I got Cincinnati and Milwaukee for the Saturday game. Yep, Lawrence and Spawn. I'm debating now. We haven't had Chicago on yet. Oh, no, we took it for Newcomb. Newcomb and Antonelli. That should be a good one. And the Thursday game will be Cincinnati and Milwaukee. Oh, yeah. Guys, can you imagine? All 4 Braves fans were upset when the team moved because when they moved to Milwaukee, they never had a losing season. From 53 to 65, they were above 500. So here's what we're going to do. Next week, it's a special Monday game on a Monday because it's a holiday week. Detroit and Cleveland. Again, Herb Score. How much you paying me not to do a Herb Score game? And the holiday doubleheader is going to be the Yankees and the Nationals. So Memorial Day at Yankee Stadium. Because we haven't had them an awful lot. And there are not a lot of good matchups. So that's all next week. And then we're going to be into June. We're zipping right along. Senators 2 in Minnesota. Oh, yeah. Same with the Browns and what the Orioles became. But it wasn't immediate. It wasn't immediate. All right. Well, that will do. Our final score here. Indians win, or Red Sox win this 4-3, and so yeah, that Red Sox bullpen is not some kind of wonderful. Frank Sullivan 6-0, and again, I find it hard to believe that Herb Score has taken half the Indians' losses. However, stranding runners on base will do that for you. All right, we'll see you Wednesday for what did I say? Brooklyn and the Giants. Until then, I'm Ron Zucker. Thank you so much. I'll talk to you Wednesday. As soon as I can find where the hell my mouse went. Where did all my mouses go?